use my my embroidery stand today to show you guys kind of the process of taking a grounded up piece of china and burnishing a copper foil tape around it so that it can be soldered. So I'm going to start with this piece right here. Hopefully you can see it. And I'm going to take, let's see here. Sorry, I have a bunch going on. Okay, I'm going to take some of this copper foil and I'm going to, hopefully you can see this all right. I'm kind of reversing my direction. Let's see here. I'm a little slow. I might have to speed up the video later, but I'm just gonna try to like line it up as evenly as I possibly can. And then I'm just going to wrap that around as I go. While I remove the backing, because it's just easier that way to make sure it's lined up. And you would do this if you're doing stained glass as well. This is like the same process. You cut and shape your glass pieces, and then you add the copper foil and burnish. Okay, so from here I just kind of do a slight pinch around the edges, and then I try to get it as even as I can so I don't have to remove a bunch of the stuff with the razor blade, because I have a X-Acto knife. I just changed the blade for that because this foil dulls those blades very quickly, and so I have to like buy them in bulk. Okay, so this is my burnishing tool. I have a few different ones. I also like just using a regular I was gonna say toothpick, popsicle stick. Anyway, so this kind of pinches as it, like it has a wheel, and then it kind of tightens around so you can kind of go around all the edges here, because you want the edges to lay flat so that the solder is flat. It's kind of like a whole process, but I really like this tool because I feel like it does do a good job of smoothing out the sides. So you'll see I didn't quite get it super even here when it connected, so I'm going to have to cut that or shape that with the X-Acto knife. Then I'm going to burnish this. I'm going to try to smooth out all the like foil lines as much as I can, because if you leave any bits of the foil loose, it like sticks out and you can see it with the solder. And then also sometimes it like gets, when you add the solution to solder, the flux solution that makes the copper, it causes a chemical reaction to make the copper adhere to the solder, hot solder. When you add the flux, it like can seep into underneath the tape, and that will compromise your whole piece. So now I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna cut around the edges to try to smooth it out. Man, it's so different when you have like a sharp blade versus a dull blade. I'm just trying to go as smoothly as I can. Because it's very, I don't want to hurt myself, and then also if you cut too much, then you can't create like the pretty solder balls. You need to have some width for that. So anyway, so this is, I wanted to show you guys a little bit into the whole process that goes into one of these. I'm hoping I can get a video of soldering too, because that's really the hardest part of the whole thing, in my opinion. All of these things require patience. This particularly is just like a little hard on the wrists, but it's, you know, it makes sense why artists who work with broken china, and who solder, they tend to charge a bit. It's because the labor, the materials are all pricey. It adds up. Plus, you're probably purchasing thrifted plates, and even if they are like chipped, I like to try to find the chipped plates. They don't give you a discount at the thrift stores for chipped plates, at least not here. Maybe they do other places, but you still have to pay full price unless you go on like a discount day. All right, so once I've cleaned up the edges, I'm gonna just go around here one more time. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, even though it's still not perfect. I try to like make it as smooth as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect, because once you add the like solder onto there and add decorative soldering, you don't always tell all the width, unless you were just not adding any decorative soldering. Then you would be able to see every like imperfection with your burnishing. So yeah, it usually takes about a little over 5 minutes to do. Let's see, where are we at now? 7 minutes. Like, okay, so just under 10 minutes to do one. And that's just adding the copper foil. Like, doing the actual soldering, I feel like it takes me like 15 minutes or more for one of these, plus the actual grinding process and cutting process. It usually is like 2 hours. By the time you add it all up, I think it's like over 2 hours to make one of these from start to finish. But anyway, so that's what we're doing today. I've got all these pieces completed, and more over here. Let's see, I'll show you. This is what I've been working on today. So I have four more to go from what I was working on the other day. So I think it's pretty good. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Bye.